good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Home Service Live with the usual gang plus a special guest. This bloke just down below me, that's Mike from Serendipity.
Good evening.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Pleasure.
And how are we all?
Very good.
Marvellous, sir.
Shay.
Yeah,
no, I just thought I'd throw that in just for the sake of it. You said things up a little bit.
Just for the yin and yang effect. Yeah.
Just for the hell of it, for shits and giggles.
Yeah, totally. Good evening, everybody in chat. Hope you're all well. So tonight we're going to be mainly focusing on Mike and Serendipity that we've been testing out, that you've been watching. Also, at 5:30 we'll be doing the Johnny's Juice and Project Vapes giveaway. So if you've already entered, it will be in the wheel. So we'll be doing that roughly about 5:30. And besides that, it's going to be free running. Yay!
Fab.
Winging it again.
We're winging it again, yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, bless you.
So if any of you guys out there in chat have got a question for Mike, feel free.
Yes.
Yeah, throw them in. The more the better.
Yeah,
The risky the better.
No kids' homework questions.
No, don't do that.
Keep it clean.
You do what, sorry?
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Nothing to do with trigonometry nor space-time travel.
You've got to have a bit of timey-wimey.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows you have to reverse the polarity of the neutron flow anyway, so...
True.
Yeah, all the young'uns now going, you what?
You do what with a screwdriver? So, Mister, are you going to say hello to chat for us?
Yes, I certainly shall. Kay's just put down, there goes all my questions. Bless you. Adam Stone, good evening, welcome, and hello. BCB, Stevie, glad to see the updates on Facebook, mate. Hope things are going well.
Yes.
Billy Lee Rice, good.
Lily.
Bubbles. Kaz. Buggles. Chris Doyle, good evening,
Chris
sir.
Doyle, fist bump, long time no see.
Have you been
Craig
let out on
Campbell.
probation or something, Chris?
No, he's been gaming.
He does a lot of gaming nowadays.
Is that what they
And
call it?
a lot of Serendipity boys comment there.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that one.
You've got a fanboy.
Craig Campbell, good evening, sir. Hope the buses are treating you well. Dawn W, as always, darling. Hello. Faxi, safe dude. Right. Brace yourself.
Fuck's sake, here we go again.
Every week.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry to see about the food allergies, Fee. Hope it's nothing too serious. John Vaping Joker, good evening, dude. Hope you're
Evening,
well.
Squire.
Mark H, we know you're smiling, dude.
Yes, we know you're definitely smiling.
Spoilt beyond words, he was.
Mr. Saunders, I do hope that was your comment on the UKVS.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
You've won comment of the week on the internet for that one. Definitely. Okay, Kay, how you doing? Long time. Huggles. Some geezer called SoulOhm. Tan Vapor, how you doing, dude? And Bunny.
Evening, Vapor Bunny.
Hong Kong. Pasty, good evening. How you doing, Dawn? And last but by no means least, Woods. Good evening.
Fist bump.
Say, Woods, is this Woods' first visit? I don't remember seeing the name.
Oh, I don't remember seeing the name.
Welcome.
It's the
Hello
first
and
visit, mate.
welcome.
Welcome. You picked a good night to do it. We don't often have the special guests on, so.
Well, before, have we said everyone's name?
Chris Earl just snuck in my back door. Good evening, Mike. How you doing, dude? Oh, it's not Woods' first. Sorry, mate.
He's not a virgin.
No. At least we don't have to put out the warnings.
He's wizened.
Bless you. He knows what he's getting. I think that's everybody.
If that's everybody, right. Everybody, we want to get together. It's Fax's birthday today.
Oh.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Faxy.
birthday, matey.
Happy returns.
Kev, good evening, dude.
Fist
He
bump.
snuck in the back door.
I'm Kevin.
Ooh,
Said hello to Chris, didn't I? Yeah.
you did say, Chris.
Yeah, I think we're good, mate.
Are we good?
We're good. What have they done with Mike? What have we done with Mike? What can we say, Mike? We cloned you. Slightly shaved as well. Right, so for those that have just snuck in late, first off, where were you? Where were you? Yeah. So if you watched for the last 3-4 weeks, you will know Serendipity vape juice because we have basically gone gaga over it
We
3
certainly
times
have.
already. It started with the apple pie. No cinnamon as well, which I'm sure Betty appreciated.
Absolutely not.
I don't mind to see what I just can't fucking see it. And I ain't saying it because that's what you were trying to lead me into that, Hodgson.
I was.
Loaded questions.
Would he do that? I don't believe you.
Yeah, because he's a sod.
And then we had the awesome lemon sherbet.
Oh, no, come on. I wasn't that much of a fan of lemon sherbet. It had cooler in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
nice.
was. I was.
No. I'm not creeping. The lemon bit were gorgeous. It was just that cooling bit I didn't like.
You know what? That might have been then why it only got third best fruit in the world.
Yeah, it's no wonder why it only got third. Yeah. If you'd
Well,
have
they
not
left
had
it out,
blooming
would have been-
cooling in it.
If they'd have left it out, it would have been first.
Yeah, exactly. It's your own fault.
I do love a shy guest. So, then there was the vanilla. Yeah, the vanilla sky.
Vanilla Sky we did. Oh, honestly is absolutely so Moorish. It's unreal.
And the one that we haven't done, because I don't think we got it short film, but
No, we
did
didn't get it
the
in short
salts.
film. We all got.
No, I think I'd actually run out of that at the show.
You had. And that was the Irie Vibes, which is a rum and raisin ice cream.
It is.
And Mike and I were discussing this because the other two lads haven't tried it. I have. Oh my God.
So, would you like to describe it?
Rum and
See if you
raisin.
get it right.
It is what it says on the bottle, basically. It's rum
Shall I give him a prompt?
soaked raisins. Yes. All problems can be solved with ice cream. Who likes to indulge? We all do, and even more so if the ice cream is a creamy hand-churned rum and raisin, chilled to perfection. Make everything Irie, as this flavour is destined to be the scoop of the day. And I'm not going to argue with that. You are getting rum-soaked raisins with it. The ice cream is just this lovely, creamy, it just carries the raisin.
But I bet you that's not the only cream you've hand churned.
That's a different show, and we don't go into that.
Sorry, I've started. It's not even 8 o'clock yet.
I've got to ask, Mike, please,
Yes, sir.
please, go back to Expo and tell us
Yeah.
about your apple pie. Please tell the story because I want everyone to hear it.
There's a little story to every single one. To be fair, if we do the reason and the idea behind the brand, which is just basically it's memory evoking flavors. So we've all had things to eat, things to drink throughout our lives, from childhood up to adulthood. We've even probably got to adulthood and tried something new for the first time. Whenever you do that, whenever you taste or try something flavour-wise for the first time, your brain locks that flavour in. So you then create memories, and you're always, if you're going to have that product again, or that drink again, that food again, you're comparing it against that memory that you've got of that first time that you tried it. So obviously I'm getting on in the years now. I'm slightly wizened. I was a World Cup baby, so that's how old I am. And just sort of growing up through the sort of late 60s, 70s. There's different things then than there was now. The apple pie was literally next door to where my mum and dad used to live, and where I obviously used to live. A friend of mine, they had an orchard. They had copious amounts of apples. They were constantly bringing bags and bags of apples around, and my mum was a really good cook. Back then, it wasn't convenient stuff. It wasn't just a trip to the supermarket. You went off on a Saturday, you got your whole week's food and shopping, and you cooked things through the week.
Yeah, that's. I think all three of us grew up that way as well.
Yeah. I think the only convenience food we had was things like vinegar and mustard and stuff like that. All the food and stuff was all sort of home cooked. And the apple pie was literally every Sunday. It was my dad's favourite, apple pie, purely because we got the apples for free. My mum was a good cook. She did fantastic pastry. She'd cook an apple pie. No cinnamon, because my dad hated it, my mum hated it, and so I sort of grew up not liking it.
To be honest with you, I've never known apple pie to have cinnamon in it.
Very Americanised.
Yes.
Very Americanised. So the good old traditional British apple pie, no cinnamon in it. So she'd cook this apple pie. It would come out the oven, and the traditional thing then, whilst we were having our Sunday dinner, was, in order for it not to scald the roof of your mouth and take about 16 layers of skin off, she'd put it on the windowsill and open the window, and the breeze would cool it down. And my dad always used to get in roughly around about the sort of dinner time. So he'd go off upstairs, have a quick sort of wash and freshen up, come downstairs, and there'd be this apple pie sat on the windowsill, steam coming off the top of it, nicely golden and everything. And he'd always say to me, "Son, just look at that golden sunset that's out there," because it literally was just like a little golden sunset. And that was the apple pie that I remember. Sweet, buttery, rich pastry. The muscovado caramel bit was purely because my mum used to put the demerara type sugar.
Yeah.
But she'd melt it down and turn it into, with a little bit of sort of cream in that, into like a sauce.
All right.
So we didn't have things like custard, or we didn't have ice cream on it. We just had this little drizzle of this sort of muscovado sugar caramel sauce on the top, and that was the flavour that I always then wanted when I did the apple pie, for it to remind me and taste of. So it's that little memory evoking flavour of, it's my mum's apple pie. That's what I wanted it to taste like. You know, God bless her little soul.
And you have achieved that, definitely.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, this is the story that hooked us at Expo, because it was like, you know, normally with vape juice, when somebody says apple pie, you know, I've been unfortunate to try the Tinner Lady one, and all you could taste in that was the cinnamon. So a pie with no cinnamon that actually did taste like what it said on the bottle. Yeah, you were onto a winner, mate. I mean,
also it leaves that linger in the air as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was the amazing bit, because I was vaping it at work, and I've got drivers coming. Are you cooking? Nice.
Yeah, it's almost a if you're out and about, you buy a bottle of e-liquid from a store, you go out, you know, you're out and about somewhere, you're having a vape. majority of people that vape, I would say 99% of people that vape used to smoke were ex-smokers.
Mm.
And we're a social little bunch when we were smokers. We'd huddle under little fag shelters in the pouring down rain just to get your nicotine fix. And you'd have a chat to the guy next to you because he'd got a common interest. We were out having a cigarette. Still very, very, very social as vapors. I don't think that bit has changed.
No.
You know, you can see another vapor and you're quite happy to say, what are you vaping on, mate? Oh, you know, oh, that's a nice little setup. Or, you know, well, I've not seen that juice. We still got that little social element to us, even as vapors now. So if you're out and about and you're vaping, a lot of vapes these days just have an air smell to them. There's nothing there. If you can put something that lingers in the air afterwards, it's going to create a bit of a tension. And they're going to say, what are you vaping on? That smells really nice. I'm vaping on that. And then that is a little marketing tool for people to go, oh, where did you get that from? Oh, I got it from a local vape store. They go to that vape store. They buy that liquid. That vape store then has to buy it back from me.
And the best advertising is word of mouth.
Yes.
It really is. That is the best advertising you can get. It's the best endorsement you can get as well. I think with the apple pie, though, it's that, how can you put it? It's almost like a comforting thing. It's that comfort smell. It's that homely smell. Even if, for argument's sake, you're not the biggest fan of apple pie, it still brings that. It's like when you smell toast.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it makes you hungry.
It is that warm and comforting thing that, you know, it's that's what my sort of childhood memory of that was. It was a nice sit round the table on Sunday. The what, sorry?
Whereabouts are you from?
I am from the most central part of the UK, which is Tamworth in the Midlands. If you stick a pin in us and spin the map, it spins exactly on Tamworth. And we're also the furthest from every single coast in the UK.
Yeah, it will be.
Every day's a school day.
Yeah. And it was quite ironic because there was a couple of guys once. Do you remember Bullseye?
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys that were on Bullseye from Tamworth, and guess what they won?
Speedboat.
They won the speedboat, yeah.
And I bet the canal got some good use.
Oh yeah, that's one thing we have got a lot of around this way is canals.
So I've got to ask, Vanilla Sky, where did that come from?
Vanilla Sky was I was very lucky to get to eat out at a very, very nice restaurant, which was the Fat Duck, which is owned by Heston Blumenthal. Massive gastronomic guy. He's the guy that does all the chemical breakdowns of foods, and he creates things that look like one thing but taste like another, and really, really clever guy. And I love custard. But that's the one flavour that got me away from cigarettes, was finding a good custard, 12 milligram in a 50-50 in a little mouth-to-lung device, and that took me away from smoking. Never looked back. So I'm always a bit of a custard fanboy. This was obviously pre me getting into vaping, but I was lucky to go for a meal, one of these taster menus things it was. And one of the things that was on the menu was a creme brulee, but excuse me, there was no sugar on the top, because they normally put sugar on the top and then they blowtorch it to crisp the top. It wasn't sugar, it was maple and marshmallow. So that was put on the top, and then that was just sort of, toasted, and so you got the rich sort of bourbon vanilla-y custard. It's like a very adult, grown-up custard. At the bottom, on top, then you've got this sort of rich maple syrup and these little bits of marshmallow that were all toasted. And it was the most amazing thing that I'd ever tried. The rest of the stuff, it was all right. I wouldn't have given him an extra Michelin star for his efforts, but that pudding was absolutely superb. And when I was looking to create a custard, which there are custards out there, I just wanted that little bit of an extra.
Oh, you have.
To it. that sort of made it a little bit more sort of grown up and developed rather than an ambrosia rich Devon custard.
Without sort of like blowing smoke or anything like that, I would class this as a posh juice.
Yeah. It's a little bit more sort of. I wouldn't say everybody puts premium on their labels these days. Premium e-liquid and this, that, and the other. I'd like to put this up that it's a proper premium one.
Yeah.
They're
totally
thought about. They're very, very depthy in flavours. So they're definitely a little bit more of a league than the generics.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of time and effort put into to get that because those flavours have been special to you, so you put that time and effort into them rather than just grabbing a handful of different concentrates and going, "I'll do it."
Yeah. I mean, they were from initial sort of thoughts and concepts. It was probably around about 18 months from initial thoughts and concepts to having the flavours where I wanted them. Then there was probably about another sort of couple of months of design of labels and flavour cards and flavour names, because they were literally just called custard, apple pie, rum and raisin ice cream. It was the fun bit when we got the flavours done. But yeah, there were probably about 18 months in design concept, lots of revisions, lots of backwards and forwards. The handy thing is, obviously, because I am Whitlicker as well, I work for Whitlicker, is that we have a lab on site with all of the concentrates, all of the compounds. So that was the fun bit, that I was doing it all in-house. And it was just a tweak of this and a pinch of that and a soupçon of this and a little oomph of that. And, you create another sort of concentrate, give it a sort of couple of 3-4 days to steep and give it a go and go, yeah, I think I'm there.
So when you started, or when you decided to do the range, did you start off? Was it the 4 you wanted to do, or was there more, and you narrowed it down?
I always knew that I needed to do. My other half, who's upstairs at the moment, she works at the same place. She's business and marketing manager at our place. And our vaping journey pretty much started around the same sort of time. I'd come off the cigarettes, got into vaping. She was still smoking. When we met, we've been together, about sort of 12 years now, something like that. So I sort of encouraged her into the vaping scene and got her into vaping, and she's been, smoke-free for about the last sort of 11 odd years. And one of the flavours that I started off on, obviously, a custard, and that was my go-to on a daily for vaping. So I knew I needed to do a custard because, why not? If it's my range, I want a custard in it. And she got off onto her, what I class as an ADV, her all-day vaping, was an apple pie, and it was done by Decadent Vapor at the time. And it was really, really nice, really rich apple. And that sort of got her away from the cigarettes and that. So she said, if you're going to be doing a range, you can have your custard, but I want you to do me an apple pie. And I says, well, you've tried my mum's apple pie. Even in a sort of, late sort of 70s, my mum would make a cracking apple pie. And she went, I have. I said, then I'll do it like that. And she went, yeah, please do. So the apple pie was there. So the two main ones were automatically there. Mm-hmm. The lemon sherbet was, I needed to do a fruit. I'm a dessert vapor. Yes, I like my desserts. But I know that the market is heavily fruit-based. So I needed to do a fruit. And there's a lot of lemons out there as well, but there's not a sweet lemon, like a real tasting lemon, but not bitter, not tart, not chemically overtoned.
Yeah.
Just a straight up lemon juice, but sweet, which was, to try and find a sweet lemon is you're trying to achieve nirvana, which is where the name came from eventually. Yeah. So that was a given then. And then the last one, which was the rum and raisin, was probably a good couple of months of sitting and thinking, I need 4. I could release 3, but I'd like to do 4. And the rum and raisin one took me back to my first sort of holiday down Cornwall. A little trip around on a nice day. It was really warm. We'd been to the beach. We'd done the normal touristy things with my mum and dad. And my mum says, "Go on, we'll treat you to an ice cream. What do you want?" And it's one of those ones where you've got all the tubs of all the flavours, pistachio and, all this, that and the other. And I saw this rum and raisin ice cream. And I suppose a bit naive at the time. I thought, rum, oh yeah, I know my dad likes rum whenever we go, round my auntie's or whatever at Christmas. He always likes to have a rum. I'll be cheeky and see if I can have a rum. Silly me thinking that I'm going to get absolutely bladdered on it at 10 or whatever it was, which is obviously not the case. So I had a rum and raisin ice cream. And being Cornish ice cream, it was rich, it was creamy, the raisins were plump in it. And yeah, there was an element of rum flavouring in them. But that was the best ice cream I'd ever tried. And we just sat one night saying, which is the last flavour that we need to do? And I said, well, why don't we do a rum and raisin? And we sat and we Googled, and I couldn't find another company that had done a rum and raisin ice cream.
No.
So I thought, well, maybe that's something that I need to do. And I think that's why potentially out of the 4, that one has always been the Marmite one, purely on the basis that there's a lot of custards out there, there's a lot of apple pies out there, there's a lot of lemon flavours out there, but there isn't a rum and raisin ice cream that you can compare the one that I did to say, is it better or is it worse?
Yeah.
So I don't think,
It was a brave choice because, I mean, most times when you get an alcohol or an alcohol induced juice, it can be a bit ropey. I mean, I've tried some rum flavours in the past and it was like, oh.
I mean, I've tried loads of pina coladas. And
in this one, you're getting the raisin. You are getting the raisin. And it's a bloody good raisin. I don't know how you did it. I'm not going to ask. But it's a bloody good raisin flavour because you get that sort of almost datey richness at the start, and then you get that aftertaste of the raisin, and it stays. It's fab.
We mix from I'll get my teeth in, and I'll loosen my. We mix from molecular compounds, so we don't get in flavour art, so we don't get in Capellas and we don't get in things like that. We have our own, as part of Whitlicker, we're also what we call Whitlicker Labs. So that is the bit that has always sort of sat behind us. That is our laboratory, our production facility. Everything that we do for Whitlicker goes through Whitlicker Labs. And we've got our own chemists and we've got our own guys that sit and come up with these new flavours and things and stuff like that. So everything that we do is mixed from the compound of that particular product. So they're as true to life as you can potentially get. And the minute we got the raisin one in, it was like, oh, right, okay, can I try that raisin? And it literally was like a sun-made plump raisin flavour. And I just thought that's the one that I want to use in it.
Every time you say raisin, I think of the guys, the California guys. I'm that old, yes.
You will have to try it because you're on the right lines. It really is stunning stuff.
And to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever heard of a rum and raisin before.
No, it was, like I say, it was one that we sat and Googled, and because you don't want to be seen to be. I think the market has enough apple pies, custards, and lemons in to be not jumping on the feet of one single person. You're jumping on the fruit train. You're jumping on the apple pie tree. Yes, you're doing that. But there wasn't one particular one where there was an other rum and raisin ice cream. There's a couple of American ones, but they weren't sort of commercially available in the UK anyway.
Yeah.
So it was a bit.
Every company's done a strawberry. Every company's done a lemon. It's so like.
let's be right. You starting a new collaboration. Whitlicker are taking a bit of a risk as well. It's a good way of expanding the range
Yeah,
related with the company.
yeah.
So you're going to go with a flavour, but do it bloody well.
That's the only thing that I wanted to do. Obviously, my boss, my director, he gave me the opportunity to create the brand and develop it and launch it underneath, the Whitlicker banner. Hence, we've obviously got created and designed by Whitlicker on the labels, which forms part of the collaboration bit that we're doing with Whitlicker Labs at the moment. But yeah, to bring them to market commercially, there's costs. We can all grab some flavors. We can all grab some PG, VG and a couple of bottles and do a bit of mixing and throw it in, try it and go, oh, that's all right. That is. To bring it actually physically to market, there's a cost involved in the concentrates, the bottles, the labor, the time. And especially with the salts wise, you've got all your testing, your emissions, your MHRA registration and stuff like that. There are, financial costs involved. So yeah, there's always an element of risk, which is why I wanted to make sure the day that I sat and presented them to Mark, because he didn't see them from the initial concept of me saying, can I do it then? And he was like, to probably 18 months later, when I called him in and said, right, there's 4 flavours there. I want you to try them all and I'll tell you what they are as you go along, and sort of, did a bit of a presentation to him. And at the end of it, he went, yeah, let's get them in bottles. Let's get them out to the market. So, that was quite a nice thing.
Yeah, I bet you were well chuffed.
I was. And then it was the fun part of, well, what do you do? Because we obviously do it as Whitlicker. We do the marketing as Whitlicker and things like that. But when it's your own, you just want to put a little bit of a personal twist on it and make it different. So we came up with the idea of these little. Mark H in chat, he'll testify to this because he bid on one of the boxes that we did through Aiden's charity. He got that as one of the things that he won and posted it out to him. The little presentation box with the serendipity on the top, the dream, taste, believe words. You dream a flavour, you taste this flavour. Now you can believe that is the flavour. That was just the tagline. What went into the box then was obviously the bottles with a little card with a little hand pressed stamp that had serendipity on. There was 4 flavour cards inside which had the sort of pictures of the juices with the flavour names and descriptions on the back.
Oh, they're nice little posh menus, them.
Yeah.
Oh, I like them.
And then a little brand, what you class as a brand story, something that introduced the brand and the idea and the sort of concept behind it in a little box. And then the first ones that I sent out, I printed a little hand sort of done letter, little A5 letter, and it just basically said, thank you for taking the time and trying these e-liquids. I'd love to know what you think of them. My thoughts have gone into them, but I would like to know your thoughts. Many thanks, Mike. And just literally hand signed about sort of 10 or 12 of them. Not for any, gratuitous, oh yeah, I'm famous and I'm going to sign it. It was just a little, thanks, and they went out to some reviewers and that, and we got a good feedback, which was nice.
That's the thing that I do love about certain companies and certain people that release vaping. It's the attention to detail, and that is it's not. Here's my juice. There you go. It's fantastic. Don't care what anyone else says. You've actually gone to the very much like Jay from Russia Project.
Yes,
it's that attention to detail, and it's almost like you're caring for the customer. You're not just selling, just buy my e-liquid. You're actually buying into a product. If that explains it. Yeah,
it's the repeatability side of it. You can bring a juice to market and you can smash it on advertising, marketing, as much as we can do legally these days in advertising for the vaping industry, you get your brand out there, you make it seen, you put it on Instagram, the social media sides, and you market the absolute hell out of it. Because the first thing that you've got to do is cover your production costs, your to market cost. Once you break even, you're all right. But you've got a chunk of money that you've invested to bring it to that point that you've got to cover. Before obviously the boss will say, well, yeah, you can order some more concentrate and you can do another batch. You know, it's like, oh, have you sold anything? I haven't sold any yet. Well, I'm not going to get you any more then, am I? You know, he's got that repeatability side in it. And it is the customers then that you want them to try a bottle, because we all like to try something new. You go into your vape shop and it's like, what's new this week? Oh, we've had that in, we've got this in. Oh, go on, I'll try that. And we all want to try something new, but do you go back for it again? And it's the repeatability side then. And I think if you do put that love and time and effort into it, you're doing it for the customer, because the customer's spending 14, 15 odd quid on 100 mil and, you know, 3, 4, 5 quid on a 10 mil nick salt. In this day and age, it's a decent amount of money.
Yeah, of course it is.
You want them to enjoy that money that they've spent and hopefully put the next one with you or with the vape shop, which keeps the vape shop ticking along, which keeps us ticking along, and that whole chain does well out of it.
So when we come to marketing and things like that, are you still just basing here in the UK, or actually you're going into Europe and the States that way out?
For Whitlicker, we launched 2015. We did Vape Fest Ireland 2016. We've been in the market ever since. We have always tried to get into other countries. We've done a couple of different shows. We did Stuttgart, we did Hamburg. We've done a couple of little other sort of shows back in the day, you know, to pre-COVID, basically. And then COVID came and really just sort of shut the whole thing down. You know, I worked from home for just over 2 years, and it was the dullest time ever, because you couldn't go into the lab, you couldn't develop things, so we had to sit on a very, very stagnant platform of let's just keep chugging. That's all we got to do. Keep the lights on, keep chugging. We got back into the office. We really wanted to push it again, so we started to obviously do the collaboration side. We've launched my range. There's a couple of other guys in the office that have launched their own ranges. We've done a couple of collaborations with companies. Black Rose Elixirs was a conversation that myself and Phil and Chrissy, the owners of it, I serviced them on the wholesale side and have done for a good number of years. Phil just happened to turn around to me one day and said, do you think I could do my own range of juice? And I went, yeah, I don't see any reason why not. Came up with some concepts, got the concentrate sorted, and they launched Black Rose Elixirs a couple of years or so now. And that's flown. We've done one with Big D Vapes up in Slowett and Home Firth, BDV Project. That was a collaboration that we did. We've also done some with a couple of wholesalers. We've done Cherry Good, Cherry Nice recently with BKS Tradeline. So that's one that we've done for them. And we've got a lot of other stuff in pipeline, which is the sort of unveiling of the lab side. The lab has always sat behind us as a front as Whitlicker.
Yeah.
But it's been more personally for us as a company. But we want to open that up now. So we're starting to say to people, you know, if you've got some thoughts or ideas and you want to come and create your own brand, you know, if you're a vape shop owner and you want to put your own range out, if you're a company or whatever, come and speak to us. We'll have an hour, we'll have a chat. We're amicable people. We're not corporate, you know. We like to have a laugh and a joke, but we say it as it is, you know.
Now we've got a question in chat.
Yes.
Faxi asked, how did you come up with the brand name?
Probably one slightly drunken evening sat with me and the missus, because that's the hardest bit, is coming up with a brand name. And we sort of mulled over quite a few different things. We looked at the flavours that we were coming up with, and it was literally, we sat and flicked on the TV, and I said, look, I'm really bored about this now. Let's just put it to bed for a bit. We'll have a think about it again in the morning. And we flicked the TV on, and the film Serendipity was on. And my missus says, I really like this film. I said, yeah, I do. I said, but I'm not watching that. It's not my type of film. Flicked around, and one of the other films that was on the channel was Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. And you know when you just have those little sort of little light bulby moments. And I went, oh, Serendipity and Vanilla Sky. That could be a good name for the vanilla one. In fact, Serendipity. Oh yes, and you start to Google it, and you think, right, okay, what's it all about? Which was basically the first thing that I put on the little brand thing, which basically says, if you find good things without looking for them, serendipity, what expected good luck, has brought them to you. Which it pretty much is. It's unexpected good luck. And it just stuck. We Googled it. We checked on trademarks and if anybody else had done it. And again, there was a couple of flavors called Serendipity in the US from 6-7 years ago, but there was not actually a brand. So that was it. It just sort of stuck. And it was those unexpectedly good luck that we'd hit on that rich stream of flavors. We'd been given the opportunity to do them by the gaffer, and it was all going. Serendipity stuck.
I'm starting to like your gaffer more and more.
he's honestly he's really cool. That's the nice thing about our company. Sorry to jump in, but everybody sees companies, well-known companies, you know, Whitlicker, like you say, we've been around since sort of 2015, 2016. When I say we're not corporate, we're not, you know, huge, massive offices. We're not sort of, 100, 200 people deep. There's about 16 to 20 of us in one unit in Tamworth, in Staffordshire, with a lab underneath us, a clean room, a chemical laboratory, stores, warehouse, and offices upstairs. And we're a tight little, the whole team, apart from the warehouse guys and the lab guys, are in one office. So the gaffer sits there, I sit here, my other half, who's a business and marketing executive, sits there, the design guy sits here, the systems guy sits over there, the warehouse manager sits there, and whatever goes on during the day, you're literally bouncing that within that little team. So things get done a lot quicker, a lot slicker. We have a laugh, we have a joke. You know, we have Fat Fridays, which is the gaffer normally dips into the petty cash and orders us in a Perifino's or a pizza or whatever, and it's just a nice little environment. So we're not that huge, massive corporate company. We're a little team in Tamworth, but we do some bloody good stuff.
Yeah,
you do, certainly. Do.
Well, I mean, this is the thing about Whitlicker. Whitlicker's one of those brands that, I mean, I started vaping back in 2017, and I did the normal peach and all the rest of it, and I got bored with the straight flavour. And it was, I think I'd seen Vic's review of Gordon Bennett.
I've not tried that juice. Gordon Bennett, what's that one?
Shut up.
Contra, GGB.
It was Contra, I think.
Yeah.
So it was, I've been vaping a bit, but I fancy something different. Then there's this fancy bowl with a white label, and it was all scrolly, and it looked flash. And then the lemon hit, and I was like, yes, here we go. And
the first time I ever tried it was in Nottingham with my brother. There was like a vape event in Nottingham, and that was the first time we'd ever little stall had them on. Go that, and that's going back some years.
Yeah, it literally did. I mean,
literally, you'd not long started when that went off. That must have been, 2016, 17, somewhere around there. Yeah. 2016 was when we launched it. We'd got everything ready to go. We got all the branding, the marketing, the merchandise, and
and we just sort of sat around and went, where are we going to show it off? And the first show, shall we call it a show or expo at the time, was Vape Fest Island. And we literally just piled everything into a hire van late at night, set off, got to the ferry port, got on the ferry. The ferry was like this.
Oh, lovely.
And we rocked up at silly o'clock in the morning, all seasick, all green to the gills, and trudged our way to the place. By the time we'd sort of got there and stopped for a bit of breakfast, they'd opened up for people to go and set up before it opened officially for the public. And we just literally rocked in with old ammo cases that had the Whitlicker logo branded on it, stuffed full of the juice, hats, baseball jackets, bits of sort of merchandise, fridge magnets and stuff, and a pop-up banner that was like a sort of very American-esque road that disappears off to the horizon with mountains, and just the logo, Whitlicker. And we put that up and went, disappeared off, had a coffee, came back, and there was a queue of people. And from there, it just didn't stop. We won, Boulevard won best juice of the show there. And then from there, we got our first couple of wholesale orders. And then somebody wanted to take it on distro. So that sort of 2016 period, we just went like that. And it started to get out there and just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. It was just ridiculous.
As a name, it did get quite popular.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't it? Especially
It got
around
too
that period of
popular.
time.
It got way too popular because we got absolutely 100%. And I'm not just saying ripped off with copies and clones. We got actually completely and utterly counterfeited, right down to the label was exactly the same.
Really?
There was flaws within it. Everybody knows Vampire Vape. Everybody knows Heisenberg. There's Heisenberries. There's Heisentink. People play on the word. They didn't with us. They literally went ham, and it was Boulevard Contra, Carnival, Deja, Voodoo, Shattered. The bottle was the same. The bottle sizes were the same. The labels were exactly with the paisley on, and it was all laid out. There was key things that we knew by looking at them that they were 100% fake. But that's how big the brand had got, that somebody actually was going to invest the time in counterfeiting it 100%.
Gee, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we literally had to go, because obviously the minute something like that goes, and you don't know what's in that bottle, you don't know how it's being made and manufactured and where it's coming from. So you need to protect, number one, the general public out there. You don't want something going into them, that is not right. But you also need to protect your own brand, because it can destroy it. So we literally had to go belt and braces. We closed all the distro side. We just literally went complete in-house. So we manufactured it, we made it, we sold it wholesale only. There was no distributors, so we knew that we could close the sort of market down. And it was only us putting the genuine stuff out. We then started giving people that were buying from us genuine Whitlicker certification that they could put up in store to say, I am a genuine Whitlicker, I'm registered. They had a registered number. And that was all on the database with us, so people could know that they were buying a genuine product from them. But we invested a lot of money into the last lot of labels we did before, obviously the new rebrand, which were the anti-counterfeit labels, and we did a massive marketing campaign on that. Those labels had 7 different anti-counterfeit measures built into them. So there was a hologram, there was a tactile logo, there was specific ink, just like you can get on banknotes, that is traceable to that particular ink. So if you scratch the ink, put it under a microscope, it has codes within the ink, and only that ink is then licensed to you.
Wow.
We had to do a huge amount of stuff just to say, this is what a genuine bottle of Whitlicker is and looks like. If it doesn't look like this, don't buy it. And very, very quickly, It didn't go away 100% because obviously they'd invested a lot of money and there was a lot of bottles out there of fake stuff. But it did start getting people thinking that if I'm going to buy genuine, I need to buy it from a genuine retailer or direct from us.
I never knew that. I didn't realise that at all.
It's the first time I'd heard that one as well.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from the anti-counterfeiting, the new labels.
Yes.
Whoever came up with those bad boys wants a shake. They're brilliant. Because my one gripe about Whitlicker stuff was if I was stood back at the counter, I could see 3 bottles, but I didn't know which one was which.
Yeah.
Now, with the new system, you walk in, they're all colour-coded.
Yeah.
I love the new ones. I really do love the new ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if you tweet
the black and white and the reverse for the shattered, which is the white on black, was the iconic look. That was the original concept of. We wanted to create something that was very, very iconic looking. That was
almost, for me personally, they almost feel like Victorian bottles. You know, I used to get the poison bottles that were that really deep blue. It's kind of got that retro, almost steampunky.
Yeah. So that was the original sort of concept idea, and then when we decided that we were going to look at launching a new flavour, we did Banshee, which was it was more of a test for the market to see what the market would like as a new flavour from Whitlicker. It was taken up quite well, but there wasn't that many massive fanboys of the Banshee range. So we said, well, look, you know, what's popular? Blue Raz is popular at the moment. Right, let's do a Whitlicker Blue Raz, which is obviously what that one is. But rather than just drop it into the same jacket, why don't we jazz it up a bit now? Plus, we just got into bed. That doesn't sound right, does it? Get into bed with somebody. It does. We'd formed a coalition. There's a good one.
Oh, that's official.
We'd formed a coalition with a global distribution company. They'd got contacts, obviously, across the globe with all the main distributors in all the different countries. And going back, that we'd always tried to get ourselves into other countries. These guys were the key to what we wanted basically to do, which is global domination. So their ideas were sort of put on the table that they'd obviously been around. They knew what worked in different countries. They knew what people looked for, and the sort of colours, the boldness, the sort of slightly sort of chromatic-y, shiny effects, and all the different things appealed to the wider global market as opposed to the UK market, which is pretty much where we've been since we launched with the black and white iconic look. So that's why we decided to do the full sort of rebrand and then said, well, you know, let's this time put the actual flavour descriptions on the bottles so people picking it up can see what the flavour is rather than it just being bullet hard.
That is really good because the amount of juice labels that you get, you haven't got a clue what they are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's expensive when you're doing flavour cards and things, and everybody asks, "Oh, can you chuck us some flavour cards in? Because I want to put them on the counter in my store or pin them up or whatever." But the best way is just put it on a bottle.
Yeah.
You know, stick your flavour profile on a bottle. Then anybody holding it or anybody picking it up goes, "Oh, that looks quite nice. Just what's that flavour? Oh, right, okay, yeah."
Yeah, but also with your favourite flavour profiles as well that you're actually putting on the labels, it's not stupid.
No.
I mean, we all like to make it flamboyant, what you're actually going to put on there. Everyone does that. But when it's sort of like dripping off a unicorn's bum on some virgin's leg, it kind of loses it. Whereas yours, it is telling you what it is.
Yeah, it's simple and straightforward. What you're going to get is what's on the label. You know, I think if you make your flavour profiles slightly unbelievable, the flavour inside is potentially slightly unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mm.
You put in a, what was it? I'm just trying to think what you're trying to make
A salt purse
out of a sow's ear or a pig. No,
a salt purse out of a sow's ear.
that's it. Yeah.
Do you have something to say about the labels, Steve? Sorry, mate.
No, it just reminds me, as Mark was saying, it's just like the old apothecary labels that you used to get.
Yes.
It's got that retro Victorian vibe. I just love them. I think they're absolutely fantastic.
It is like a carpet bag sort of feel, isn't it? They wouldn't look out of place being whipped out of the carpet bag, sort of Mary Poppins-esque.
I think the original concept for my label started off with me looking at something fairly similar to that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have gone for them.
So we then actually laid up a couple of little ideas.
Oh, like that, yeah.
And then they just sort of went. It went on through initial sort of concepts and ideas and tootling backwards and forwards and even getting it done as a little render to see how that sort of style would look.
Because that's kind of very, very similar to sort of like whiskey.
Yeah.
Type of bottles, your traditional ones.
Yeah, to sort of have that small batch premium look to it was what I wanted. I wanted to go for a little bit of a. It wouldn't look out of place on a table in a gentleman's club, and a nice sort of swishy sort of gin bar or something that was a little bit sort of more higher end.
See, if you're ever going to do a sort of premium, the exclusive, the glass apothecary bottles, but with the glass stripper, for those of us that still use the RDAs.
Yeah.
That would be fabulous.
Yeah. The old glass bottles were, I did have some somewhere, which was the original first batch one of the 4 Whitlicker flavours in the 30ml glass drippers. We've got them at work. They're well steeped, and I'm sure they'll taste absolutely lovely.
What time are we on? Oh, it's
I'm waffling. I do. If you've got bits and bobs,
right? No. Do the giveaway.
Mike, sorry to cut you short. It's just we've got to do the giveaway. But
do it,
dude. This has been fascinating.
Yeah. Right. BFG, you tell them what they're going to win. I'll get the wheel up.
Right, your chance this evening is to win the newest flavour from Johnny's Juice, which is a lime and lemon sherbet. You will receive a 60ml bottle made up to 3 milligram. What you have to do, you should have already put your name in. If you haven't put your name into the pinned post on the Facebook group, you aren't entering this week. However, next Wednesday, when the post goes up, get your name in, you'll be in the draw. What the winner of tonight's draw will have to do is give us the keyword. If you don't give us the keyword, you're getting nothing, and we're going to sit there. You have to watch to win. It's that simple.
Are you ready?
So, go for it.
It's David Sheridan. Congratulations.
Hey, excellent.
So I'll just put this one up. There you go. Tonight's keyword is chiggers. So the winner needs to email me the keyword, their name and address, and Nick's strength to the home service live show at gmail.com. Congratulations. Woo!
Well done.
There's a word I've not heard in a while.
Chiggers.
Chiggers.
I was just going to see Sick Steve the other night.
Bless you.
Didn't you do a program about pop? Oh no, that was Cheggers.
That's Cheggers.
I just thought you couldn't say cheers right because you got to listen.
Right, we'll go off there. So don't forget to put that word in, your name and address and unique strengths to the home service live show at gmail.com. So congratulations, David.
Indeed. And if you're in chat under a different name, please do put the pseudonym in the email. We're good, but we're not that good. Excellent. Oh, good man, Bill. The lime and lemon sherbet is a very fine vape and almost replaced my ADV. Bless you.
I hope you do one without the ice. Because it was a lovely lemon.
Stop
it. Where's the off button?
At least I'm honest.
Do you know what? I will take any feedback, whether it's negative or positive, because you only learn from it.
And let's face it, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what juice you bring out. All three of us, all four of us, should I say, will taste something slightly different.
Yeah. It's hugely subjective. Taste is hugely subjective. Yeah.
That's what I love about it. It's one thing that I used to love about doing juice reviews, is because once you'd started doing it, first of all, you don't notice the differences. But after a while, it's almost like wine tasting. You can taste the subtle differences and the little tiny nuances that are in the actual flavour.
Yeah, you train your taste buds. Your taste buds become very, very astute to things.
Virgins, unicorns, nuances. What the smeg have you been vaping? See, I'm more of a Carlsberg special brew vapor. I don't go for the new one. I want something to slap me in the face. And to be fair, that custard, by God.
You can all remember Mother's Milk when that first came out.
Yes.
And it got copied like crazy. And it really did. But no one could get the same as Suicide Bunnies. And do you know what the key ingredients that was missing out of all the other Mother Milk? Coconut. That's all it was. If they'd put the hint of coconut in it, they'd have had Suicide Bunnies Mother's Milk.
It's amazing sometimes that certain combinations that you think you'll call it a straight up so and so and so and so, but if you just add a couple of other little, I'll say the word again for you, nuances in that are not of the norm, it can elevate and change things that other people will go, oh, right, okay, so you're doing a peach and pineapple sorbet or whatever, and they'll use peach and pineapple and some sort of sorbet but there might be something else that's in there, like a little dash of watermelon just to pour this bit out, and that if they're not in, you'll never get that.
And they're normally flavours that you don't know that are in there.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden enhance the main flavour that you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Well, it's like cactus juice, isn't it? I mean, that's normally used to just bring out or make something pop. You don't get a vape juice with cactus juice flavour in it.
Yeah. Cucumber and cactus juice and all of that. They have a coating factor that sits across your taste buds, so the flavour that's mixed with them sits on your taste buds longer because it's not washed away. It sits for a little bit longer, so it heightens the flavour, almost sort of boosts it a little bit.
Well, I mean, my good lady's absolutely balmy about coconut, and I think it was the first time we got to try the
Deja Voodoo. Yeah.
She was just like a dog with two dicks. It's like, oh, coconut. And that's what she was picking up.
Yeah. The thing is, yes, there's coconut in it because it is, the coconut, Santa Barbara coconut husk and Chula Vista sugarcane. Well remembered.
You did well there.
It's not impressive. It's not just coconut. I think I've said it once before somewhere else, but there are 17 individual components in Deja Voodoo that make up the flavour, and one of them is coconut.
Wow.
Yeah, it is the most complexly layered flavour and the most expensive concentrate that we put together.
But I mean, this is the thing though. When you vape it, you are getting the nuances, but only after a while. The first blast you get is that very delicate coconut, and it's fab. And then there's the teaser flavors that you. What was that? Oh,
yeah. The little bit of spice note drops through, and
yeah,
the sweet, sugary, almost gritty, sugary bit.
Yeah.
And this is it. I mean, we've had going on to Rochford strawberry milk. If it was just the strawberry milk you were getting, you'd get bored with it.
Yeah.
But somehow he manages to get that little burst, and it's completely random.
Oh, that's the raspberry one.
Sorry, the raspberry milk, yeah. And he gets that burst of fresh raspberry. And he's saying, what the hell was that? So you take another toe. Yeah.
Yeah, creating a complexly layered flavour. Rochford Project's got it down to a T. All of his flavours are absolutely fantastic. I don't think there's one that I've tried, and I've tried them all because I like a complex, desserty style, which is the majority of the ones that he's done. I've not tried the Chocoleo yet. I will get around to trying that one.
He's good.
I've heard some good. I've heard some good things. I've seen some good things.
He's good.
Yeah. But yeah, that complexity of layers keeps you coming back then, because you're not getting bored of the same hit. You try it once, you get that, oh yeah, that's quite nice. Then you try it again, and it richens and it deepens, and you're back in again, and you're back in again. And before you know it, your bottle's gone, and you're back down the shop getting another one.
That's the way to do it. I mean, it's interesting because I didn't realise that Blue Moon was the newest flavour in the range, and the B&M had that in the Nick Salt. So I've tried that off my own bat, and that's definitely up there in my top 3 of the range. Yeah.
Again, there's blue razzes out there. It's probably one of the most in flavours of the last 12, 18 months or so.
It's not a flat blue raz.
No.
There are those little. What the hell was that?
Yeah. Firstly, there's no such thing as a blue raspberry. You know. So what is a blue? Is it a blueberry and a raspberry? It's not. It's not just that. You know. There's other bits in. There's pineapple in.
I like you.
So I've got to ask then. So what is the future now for Serendipity?
So we launched March the 7th, 2022. Yeah, 2022. We bought the salts out just into this year because obviously I had to recoup the initial costs and the costs of that's basically the way that we work it as brand owners, that you've got to pay your way. Our boss won't overly fund you. Yes, he'll give you the tools and the opportunities to bring it to market, but you've got to prove its worth, and only then. And luckily it did really well from launch, so we were quickly into the salt ranges. So the salts came out, which is always good because everybody's into salts. What is going to happen? Do I flood loads of other flavors onto it? Do I keep it niche with 4 flavors and have them as hopefully as iconic as the Whitlicker Fab 4? It's a hard thing to say. I'd like to. I've got other flavors in here and things that I'm working on anyway. But do I bring out a Serendipity version 2? Do I bring out a range that is then that has a link to them being part of Serendipity, or do I bring them out as a completely different brand? I don't know.
Sorry, I feel like I put you right on the spot for that one.
Faxi says, "Can you do a strawberry pop tart? Pretty please."
It might not be too far away with one of them. You've been looking over my shoulder at work.
I mean, it's obviously the brand has grasped attention, because when
Yes.
you've gone, if you put Serendipity onto Google, the amount of stockists is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what makes me laugh is they're all trying to sell the same item, obviously, but the variants in the descriptions, but they're all trying to stay within that sort of. I can't go too far away from what they've said officially.
Welcome to AI. Yeah, I've seen some. I've seen some that they're just. I don't know who's written it. I don't think they've even seen the fact that it's actually on the label.
Yeah,
They've gone, oh yeah, that's that. Yeah. There's some that are quite close to it. There's some, yeah. What would I really? You put me on the spot. What would I really like to do? Global domination is always key. I'd like to get it into a couple of other countries. The one thing that surprised us this year was with Wicklicker, we did Paraguay, we did Egypt, and we just recently did the World Vape Show in Dubai, launching the new labels, the brand globally, which is obviously part of our steps that we're doing. The one thing that really surprised us in the warmer countries, I thought that they would be all fruit heads and complete ice mad. It's hot out there. I need something fruity and icy. The desserts went down a lot better than the fruits because they're already flooded with what people think they want, which is icy fruits, but they've never had complex desserts. So their sort of little taste buds were quite virginized to that, and they were blown away with the Carnival and the Deja Voodoo, and you know they came out as being the firm sort of favourites in those sorts of. So it was, would my 3 out of the 4 being heavily sort of desserty based do well?
So did you have to change the sweetness profile or anything? Because obviously you're coming out of the UK market.
No. The one thing that we've always said is if we have to change the outside, the jacket, or put on a different. If you go to a posh club, you're going to dress up, but it's still you inside. You know, you're not any different, but the sort of dinner jacket and the bow tie that you put on for a posh meal, rather than your hoodie and a pair of trainers and something when you're crashing out, still you inside. And we've always said we don't want to change what's inside because it's done as well for this number of years. But if we have to change it to suit a particular market, yes, we'll decide to dress it up a little bit and bling it a bit and that. So that's the only reason that we went along that sort of design, because that sort of fits with that sort of market that we've gone into. And one of the nice things off that is that we got a deal for Flavor Hype Distro, which is Australia's biggest distributor. And we launched Wicklicker in Australia this Monday. I think it went live at Flavor Hype Distribution.
Wow,
Brilliant.
in Australia.
Yeah. So rather than starting from the UK and gradually enveloping the world that way, we've gone to the bottom and we're going to creep up on everybody.
I like it.
Yeah, we're leaving that one. Hopefully Stuart's still in chat here. Was
getting into Australia difficult?
Yeah. There's hoops and things that you've got to jump through. There's all sorts of ways. Getting a finished product out to that market is, number one, a financial nightmare. It's a logistical nightmare. Having it co-packed out there, as in Coca-Cola's made in the UK. It's not shipped in from the US where Coca-Cola was originally from. It's made by Britvic in the UK. But that's the deal that they've signed. We've got a similar thing with Flavor Hype Distribution in that facility, that we can get them what they need. They can make the finished products.
Yeah.
But it's still the same thing, you know.
See, as chat's just sort of exploded, but hasn't Australia all but banned vaping now?
Not yet.
See, for me, this is a great time to go in, because if they're having problems getting it, you're there.
The products that they're banning are the ones that won't be on their registered supplier lists. So, like if the MHRA were to take over the UK and say, well, in order for you to sell your wares within the UK, you've got to jump through this hoop and this hoop and this hoop and conform to this and this, that, and the other. And only the ones that get through that will be on the list of available products. That's pretty much how the Australian's going to go, that it will only be the authorised products that they will allow to be sold, which we're pretty confident with the deal that we've done, it will be with our products.
So that's some serious forward thinking, really.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I'm beginning to think your gaffer may be Mouse. What are we doing tonight, Gaffer? Same as every night.
Sit down, Pinky, I'll tell you.
Oh, you're in trouble in the office tomorrow.
We call him worse than that, don't worry. He is, unfortunately, he hates it, but it was something that he got tarred with a good number of years ago as Mr. Boulevard. And the amount of people that call him that when we've done shows and stuff, and he goes, yeah, he hates. So we do like to remind him every now and then.
Yeah. Well, big shout out to Mr. Boulevard.
Yes, Mr.
Boulevard. Yeah, I mean, so having been through the process and everything else, and obviously you're still working for Whitlicker, you do it again.
What, the whole get into the vaping industry and bring out a brand and
yeah.
If
you knowing what you did now, now, would you have even started this?
I think the industry where it is now is it's a different animal to what it was. It's a very, very different animal, and it's going to be an even. The word differenter is not a word, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's going to be a differenter animal. When whatever they do with TPD 2.5, 3.0, 4, whatever they're going to call it, whenever they do it, it's ticking away in the background. There's things that we have a compliance company that we're in bed with. Again, I'm using that. It sounds like I'm really promiscuous, but I'm not.
Good lad.
But we're in bed with a lot of people. But our compliance company always constantly has their fingers on the pulse. Any new legislation things, any new changes, we're informed. Our designers are informed. If we have to change things on a label for the next run of that label to bring it to market quick, we do it. So the market it's going to get more compliant, even for short fills. It's going to be quite a tough market, but if you read about it and you understand about it, and you get a little bit of advice, you can still do well within the industry. You've just got to. We've had the fun days. We've had the let's just mix it and bring it to market. It's only a short fill. Doesn't matter what's in it. Let's put the lovely stuff in. Let's put the diacetyls and the butyric acids and all sorts of stuffs in, and because that's what makes it taste good, and that's why people buy it. It's only a short fill. There's no regulations on short fills. There is going to be compliance coming for short fills, just as there is for 50/50s and Nick salts. And that really, it's going to sort the men out from the boys. If the boys are prepared for it and they've understood it and they're reading about it and they're already doing it, then it's not going to be too much of a problem for them. The ones that are going to continue to bury their heads in the sand right up to the day when they switch the light off, they're going to be the ones that they're going to fall foul at the first hurdle, unfortunately.
And the other thing the industry is facing, I mean, is the political landscape has changed so much so quickly.
Oh God, yeah, especially in Europe.
Yeah. Especially Europe. But I mean, that's a growing movement in the UK now.
Yeah.
With the MP in Newark, you know, they're seeing it as a vote winner. And I'm still not convinced that there's a lot of
it's like they're on about banning disposables.
Yeah.
Which we know it's a bane of the industry. No matter who you are, it is a bane of the industry. But it does worry me a little bit. If they ban them, what else are they going to try and start banning? That's where the worry. It's like we've many times we've said on this show, if they restricted them to selling them only in vape shops, I think their problems would be solved. I really do. Instead of your corner shops and your hazardous and all them lot. I think if they sell them in a dedicated vape shop, the problems would be over and done with. But no, they're going down the ban route.
Yeah,
and that does worry me.
It's easier to do that rather than get people to conform and become regulated. If they did, I mean, what's it going to take for a vape shop owner if they come up with some sort of, I don't know, even like what would you call it, like an NVQ of something, that as long as that vape shop owner has gone through some sort of training and can provide a level of service and understanding and knowledge of a product, what's in it, what the components are, and things like that, and explain that in a correct fashion to somebody, that's the best way to do it, because you're still going to get that person away from smoking, and they're going to be more beneficial having had the advice than walking in and being presented with, can I have one of them?
Yeah. See, I've always
what do I do with it?
Even though I've worked in a vape shop, I still believe, I know it's a proper dedicated vape shop is a few steps down from being a chemist.
Yeah.
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 And I don't think people take a vape shop seriously enough in general of what they're actually providing, what services they're actually providing of stopping someone from smoking.
If a shop sells one specific range of products, you tend to call them more of a specialist shop rather than a whole host or plethora of products. They're just a shop. So if you want something that is more specialist to suit your needs, get a specialist. And if you want to call them specialists, or that your proper vape shop is where you're going to go. That person is going to give you the best advice on the product, the range, the device. Whether you're a heavy smoker or a light smoker, God forbid you've never smoked and you want a vape, don't do that.
Yep.
Just don't do it at all. It's not big and it's not clever. But for us, numpties that got into the habit, go and seek proper advice. Go to a proper bricks and mortar shop and speak to the person there, because they're in the industry. They know what's about. They'll give you the advice. And if that shop has to become regulated, albeit, I'm all absolutely 100% for that.
Yeah, totally agree with.
They won't ban disposables.
Betty in the corner shop's not going to be able to tell you what the best device for you is.
No.
All she's there for is to sell it.
Yeah, our retail store, when we opened it in the local town, before we got to where we are now, and demolishing that part of town, so it's closed now, it's gone. But the ethos of that store was that if that person comes in and they want to get off cigarettes, you go as far as you can overboard to explain the whole system of vaping and products and devices and e-liquids and what's best for them. You ask them the questions of how many do you smoke? Are you a light smoker? Are you a heavy smoker? Are you a social smoker? And things like that. And present them with a range of devices that they're going to get on with. Don't try and give somebody like little Ethel, who's tied a dog up outside and panicked to come in because it's a bit vapey in the store and she's feeling a bit overwhelmed. Don't sell them that.
No.
That's for me, because I know what I'm doing, but she's not going to want that.
No,
she's not going to get on with it with a big 100ml bottle of, cloudy liquid. She wants something that's proper, and only that vape shop's going to do it.
Yeah.
Because other stores are just going to go, well, I've sold out of them and I've sold out of them, but I've got that. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, Bunny's just she's another shop owner.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing nowadays is people don't care. As long as they get a vape, they aren't bothered. Too many pop-up traders undercutting vape shop prices, and people just want cheap. We do. As consumers, we're cutting our own throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys who vapes at work, he looks out for a bargain, and I can't fault him, but the amount of time he's ended up with something substandard off eBay because it's been old stock, out of date, and he'll still do it because it's saving him the cash. Every now and again he'll buy a bottle of the proper stuff and then we talk.
Right, guys, we are coming up to the hour.
Wow, that's flown by
quick. Well, Mike, gotta say thank you. It's been an eye opener all evening.
I could do another couple of hours, but I know I can't. It's just nice to talk about what we do and just express why we do it. We do it because we want people to, number one, like what we do, but the love and thought and things that we put into it, we don't just rattle them out to fill shelves. We'd rather make sure that we bring something out that you like, and if you like it, you buy it again. And we're happy with that.
I think the Fab Fours reinforce that, because it's not like you've had 4 great flavors and then here we go.
Yeah, like I say, I could bring a range out of Serendipity to tomorrow with 16 flavors and that, but there's already those on the market, so I'm going to leave them to fill that bit of the market, because they come and they go and they come and they go. I just want something that keeps a bit of fuel in my car at the end of the month and gets me some posh bread on the table instead of I might get myself a decent proper loaf instead of a one that's been reduced.
Oh hell, I'm sending you a sourdough bowl just for the custard. I'm telling you, man. Thank you.
No, absolute pleasure, guys.
Right, on that note, Mike, would you like to say your goodbye, sir?
I would. So chat, I've been rattling that much. I've not looked across, but I've seen a lot of people on there with a lot of love. There's people that I know from obviously the Saturday show that I do, with the rest of the team. So I've seen people in chat from that. I tend to sit back a little bit on that, let the others do it, and I quip in with a few little jokes and stuff. So it's nice for me to have a natter and a chat. So thank you for that, guys. It was lovely to meet you at Expo. It's lovely to have a natter and a chat with you now. So thank you so much for listening to me.
It's been fab.
It's been awesome.
It's been very enlightening, actually.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, hearing it from your side of the vaping scene, if you want, and for the passion that you've put into 4 remarkable juices, as far as I'm concerned, because they're absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, chat, if you haven't bought them yet, get your finger out and get them bought. You have been told, and I'll be checking up next week. And if you haven't bought them, I want to know why.
You should have the roses round.
Yeah, I watch my stats this week.
10%.
Absolutely. That's a done deal, that one.
Right, thanks so much for joining us, mate. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you for joining us also. Come and join us again, same time, same place next week. Unfortunately, it'll just be us three next week again. So you'll just need to pop with us talking crap for an hour and a half. But I'm sure I'm sure we'll come up with some idea or something, because you know what we're like. We just wing it anyway. So yeah, so come and join us. A big congratulations to our winner tonight, obviously, from Johnny's Juice, and a big thank you to Project Vapes and that for supplying that juice too. So we'll now hand it over to Mr. Hodgson to say his goodbyes.
Thank you. Chat. Thank you. It's been fabulous. Mike, wow. Sir, I salute you.
Oh, no,
definitely. I so want to meet Mr. Boulevard. I just have visions of this mouse in a suit. CC Coils, dude, we spotted you. You snuck in the back door. I didn't want to interrupt the flow because Mike was full swing. So big thanks to CC for giving us the 25% off. If you want to do that, then just check the reels, etc. The code is on there.
It's not been on tonight. It's home service at checkout.
No, it's on the reel. Trust me.
It's on the reel.
Oh, it's on the reel. Because we like that. Yeah, I had so much fun making this week's reel. It was fab. Serendipity. Where do we go with this? Shit. So we went for the obvious, but never mind. Chap, thank you so much. You didn't have to join us. You did. I hope you've enjoyed it. We had a great time.
Been good.
If you enjoyed it, get yourself back here at 7:30 next week.
Press like.
Like would be nice as well.
Yeah, like would be nice.
We all enjoy a thumb up. Yes, we do. And I'm going to hand you over to Mark.
Right, guys, thank you so much for a fantastic show. Mike, we first met at Expo, and your enthusiasm, honestly, Wick Liquor should be so chuffed that you work for him. Really. Because
some days.
Honestly, the passion that you come out with and the knowledge that you've got and what you've done, honestly, I think it's fantastic. And it's lovely to see that enthusiasm. It really is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming on. Really.
Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Want to give a big shout out to Project Vapes and Johnny's Juice for the giveaway. Thank you so much. If you would like to enter for next week, watch out for the pinned post coming up on Wednesday mornings. So all you have to do is put your name in there, and then obviously it gets drawn on the Thursday night. CC Coils, don't forget, pop over to CC Coils. You can get a 25% discount using the code OHMService. Guys in chat, you are wonderful. We love you so much. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up before you leave. That'd be awesome. So from myself, Betty, BFG, and Mike, we wish you a wonderful weekend and a fantastic week. Get the words out. And we'll see you all back here on Thursday. So
catch Mike on Saturday.
Lads,
Yep. 8:30.
yes, 8:30.
8:30.
So everyone wave. Come on, wave.
Catch you later.
Everyone,
Bye.
Wave. Bye.
What do we do again, boss? Wave, you buggers, wave!
Let's wave.
Mr. Boulevard, make yourselves a big
He loves me. He loves me today. The nice thing is,